Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And this time around, it's the Hulu series Extraordinary. It's actually a British series. Welcome, everybody. Let me take care of some business first, and we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos of my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, please hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can't hit that like button, the share button as well. Excuse me. And if you feel lucky or feel like gambling, you can hit that bell down below, and YouTube may or may not notify you when I come on live. Best thing to do is go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media there and all the links to my pages as well. All right, so I'm going to do a spoiler-free version of this. So all 8 episodes are up right now for season 1, and this is a Disney production, by the way. If you go and take a look in the credits, at the very end, it does say it's a Disney production. Disney UK, of course, on this one. So it's a little more adult-oriented, and it's actually so what this is, it's set in England, and it's in a world where when people hit 18, they get superpowers. And this happened around 20 some odd years ago, somewhere around there. That's when it started happening. And so people that were already adults uh, started getting superpowers as well. We're mainly following Jen and her flatmates, and they're in their early 20s, of course. So Jen, Carrie, and Cash is who we're following around. And Jen is unique in that she is 24 and hasn't hit superpowers yet. She doesn't have any superpowers. So it's kind of a weird thing for her. We see her navigating this world of people with superpowers and also just dealing with life in general kind of thing. And it's one of those things that is it's a comedy. Obviously, it does deal with relationships. How do you deal with people? How do you date people who have superpowers when you don't have superpowers, and vice versa? Um, there are quite a number of incidences. The opening scene alone, the opening, if it doesn't hook you, it won't. Let's just put it that way. And it's very much the humor throughout the entire series. As a matter of fact, they have another flatmate that comes in later, who's named Jizzlord. That's all I can say about that. I'll get into that part in the spoiler section. Um, it's funny. It's actually a really good, comedy series, and also the superhero thing isn't, like, overpowering, it's there, it's a plot device, and it just kind of moves things along and, allows it to, be able to do more things, having more freedom in a sitcom situation. It's not even a sitcom, really. Um, it just gives it more freedom in this series to do things that it should be able to do. It's well done. It's light. It's not something that is really heavy, of course. It's not something you need to think about, but also it's just it's fun is really what it is. I really liked the lead, and I'm gonna murder her name. I know this because she's got like a Gaelic name. Myrid Tyres is her name. She plays Jen, and also I mean Sophia Oxum does a great job. Bilal Hasna, Luke Rollison, pretty much everyone who's in it does a great job. And if it's worth your time. Go and take a look at it, especially we're in the lull period right now of stuff to watch. This is a perfect thing to watch and just have a good laugh about it. Yasi Sufi says, I watched 4 episodes of the show and they were quite funny. The show has its moments. Honestly, I just played to see what it is, and I found myself hooked. Exactly. Exactly, CBM. The superpower stuff is sort of the framework. It's just there to hang the bones of the world that you have here, and then play off of it, riff off of it every now and then. You really don't need to. There are certain episodes where yes, the superpower stuff does play into it, um, but it's not superpower driven. That's where I'm getting at here. So with that said. Now we'll end the spoiler-free version of it. We'll go into spoilers. Spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode or the series, first season. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video. You can comment down below in the comment section. Give you enough time to pause, run away, whatever you need to do. So yeah, the whole thing with Jen finding a cat outside in the rain and then bringing him inside, I knew right away. I mean, as soon as you introduce that you have people that can shapeshift, I knew that this was probably somebody with superpowers. And I mean, that's the most fucked up thing. It's living in this world. You can't trust if the pet that you're getting is actually someone just stuck as an animal because they haven't been able to get out of it or something like that, or if it's actually a real animal. And in this case, it's a guy who is stuck in cat form, and he keeps popping in and out. So how he gets the name Jizzlord is the funniest fucking thing. There is a guy that Jen is dating. She likes to go out and get laid is really what she needs, what she wants to do. Well, she does meet this one guy that essentially his superpower is if he touches someone, he gives them an orgasm. And he's really self-conscious about it. He wants to know if people are going to like him for him rather than just his ability to give you an orgasm, a really powerful orgasm. And so they're laying there in bed. He's got pillows in between them. Um, and the cat, as he's asleep, the guy's asleep, the cat, Jizzlord, well, before he becomes Jizzlord, is standing there. And Jen is actually reaching over to go and touch him because she wants an orgasm. Um, And you see the cat jumps up and it's reaching over as well. And she's looking at the cat, she's "Don't do it. Don't do it." And it's the funniest fucking thing. And the cat, you hear all you hear is the cat go, "Wow." It basically, that's how he gets his name, Jizzlord, is from yeah, which is hilarious because later on, of course, he becomes this dude who has no memory, or he has very limited memory of who he was before. And the last memory that he has is of a football match that happened 3 years ago. So obviously he's been in cat form for a while. So it's pretty fucked up. That's its own story in and of itself. Um, Mark says I was searching for the corner. So I got it here late. Okay, yeah. Okay. Um, so Carrie is able to channel the dead. So she works in a legal firm where a lot of rock stars and stuff like that are being asked to sign off, on releasing things. Basically, anybody who's rich, famous, all that kind of stuff, they're being asked to come back and sign stuff or release, rights to things, that kind of thing. And one of the nice things about it, and I'm not going to spoil it, there's something that Carrie does for Jen that you don't find out until about midway through the series. That's really kind of nice, and I'm just going to leave it at that. Um, and Jen's family, of course, like, her mom, her stepdad, her stepsister's kind of a little bit of a bitch, and, there's stuff that happens there as well that I'm not gonna really spoil. There's a lot of stuff in this, I don't wanna spoil it because if you're gonna go and watch this, it's well worth, the time to go through it rather than having me spoil stuff for you. Cash, who's the 3rd flatmate, well, yes, the 3rd flatmate is, Carrie's boyfriend, and he has the ability to turn back time, just a little bit, not a lot. I think it's about, like, 15 minutes or so. And there's actually a really pivotal episode, near the end that, kinda pushes things to the extreme on that as well. But yeah, this whole world of people with superpowers and how fucked up it can be. Just, if you got really shitty superpowers, there's like one guy who can pretty much, he's like a human 3D printer, only he shits out whatever it is that you want. There's another guy who, if he he can touch something and turn it into a PDF, anything, people, play, all that kind of stuff. You can turn into like really shitty superpowers, and there's some decent superpowers too. Like a lot of people can fly, and they use themselves as taxis. They have little seats on their backs and stuff like that. It's a neat little world building thing. It doesn't dwell on it. It just kind of passes. You see it in passing, and that was what I liked about this too. Is it's not just kind of hitting you over the head with it. It just happens as the main story is happening, and that's what you want out of a story. You want your main story to take precedence and have your MacGuffin, if you will, just be the hook to bring people in, and do it that way. This is on Hulu, by the way. Marks is where this is playing at. This is on Hulu. Um, CBM says, I love how if you rewatch that episode where he pushes that, you can tell that what he was doing. Yeah, yeah. Um, the story about how he discovered his power was hilarious. Yeah, yeah, it is. There's a lot of really good stuff in all of this. I mean, it's worth your time to take a look at. I really hope it gets a season two out of this. And again, like I said, this is a Disney production. This is a Disney UK production that got exported here to the States. So it's already on Disney Plus UK, which is kind of funny, but it's Hulu here in the United States. Vox Machina or this, which should you watch first? They're different shows, Marks. I mean, they're completely different shows. I mean, Vox Machina is also funny, but it's very violent and it's animated. It's good. I mean, you're gonna burn through it fairly quickly. Same thing with this. This is pretty funny. It's good. But it's all comedy is really what it is. This one you'll probably burn through faster than you will Vox Machina. Just because Vox Machina, sometimes you need to take a break and go, okay, that was really good, but I need to just calm my tits for a moment, you know? So yeah. CBM says Disney Plus here in Canada. Oh, okay. All right. I can see that. Yeah, it's just Hulu here. They don't like so Disney you got the far right people in this nation that always think that Disney is equals kids. So of course, nothing like this would actually go on Disney, whatever. So that's why it's relegated to Hulu. I did too, CBM. I burned through it in a day as well. I wasn't expecting to, and then I kind of watched it, and I was like, "Oh, I'll watch the second episode." And then the next thing I know, the entire day has gone by, and I've kind of burned through it. They're like 40-minute episodes, somewhere around there. Um, so yeah, it's and like I said, there's 8 episodes. So yeah, you're looking at a day of streaming is what you got there. But it's fun. I mean, and everyone is really good in it as well. I like I said, I want to see more of these characters. I want to see more of this world. Emma Moran is the person who created this series. She's the creator of this series and does a great job. I mean, it's nice seeing something, taking the superhero. You know what it kind of reminds me of in a way is there was a TV series called Powers, actually by the guys who did the animated Harley Quinn series. They had Alan Tudyk in that one as well, and that takes place in Gotham. Um, it was a DC thing as well. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Powers, only um, a British version where you're allowed to swear, uh, allude to sex. I mean, they didn't show anything. There's no, nudity or anything like that, but they're swearing that kind of stuff. And I like this. This actually is a much more modern version. I mean, you can actually adult version, I should say, mature version where they don't treat it as a kids show kind of thing. Celebro 469 says, "What do you think? I think she really does have a power. It takes time to manifest. For example, the Catman and the I think her power, Celebro, if we're gonna get to it, is the ability to cancel other people's powers. Because the fuck buddy, when she leaves him, he can't fly. and I think she can actually neutralize people's powers. And the same thing was happening with Jizzlord. When Jizzlord started turning back to a guy, it's because yeah, I think she was short circuiting his powers. But I don't think she was doing it to carry, and she hasn't done it to Cash. Even though Cash, there was a reason to short circuit his powers, and she didn't need to do it because he was burning out on his own for what he was doing there. So yeah. CBN says, I have wondered if that was possible and it would suit her character arc. Yeah, I think it would, honestly. And I think that's what they were kind of alluding to, but I don't know for sure. I do like the fact that there is actually a business within this world that will help you jumpstart your power. And so she meets another girl that is the same age as her that hasn't gotten her powers yet, but she's been going through the treatments. And of course, the treatments are really expensive. And they decide to fuck up the place. They break in to go and fuck up the place, and it's pretty hilarious, honestly. Mork says so she can cancel powers consciously, unlike um we don't know for sure, Morks. It's kind of alluded to, um but it's not really, it's not really a given. That's my theory on this. That's what Celebro is also thinking as well. I think we're on the same wavelength on that one. Yeah, basically just cancel out of power. So if you have the power of flight, you can't fly anymore. If you have the power to shapeshift, you can't shapeshift anymore when she's around, or maybe in your, if she's in your proximity, and then for a certain amount of time, she neutralizes your powers. I don't know. We'll find out next season if there's a season 2, and hopefully there's a season 2 off of this because, it's good. It definitely needs a good, season 2 off of this. And, honestly, a lot of Hulu series, I burn through them fairly quickly because they're decent. I mean, they don't put a lot of stuff out, but what they do put out is actually pretty good because again, it's part of Disney as well. So Disney does look at what they're doing. Case in point, Hit Monkey. If you remember Hit Monkey from, it was called Marvel's Hit Monkey. Over a year ago, it came out, animated series on Hulu. It is getting a second season, but it's going to be dropping the Marvel title off of it. It's just going to be called Hit Monkey. It's still going to be Marvel because it came from Marvel Comics. It's just that 20th Century Animation is taking it over now, and it's going to be part of that box, if you will. Mork says, "Hey, if there's a season 2 of Velma, anything?" Oh no, Velma is its own piece of shit. I watched the first 2 episodes of Velma, Morks, and that's just a hateful show. I mean, just a total hateful show, and I never want to go back to it. It's just that bad. Um, yeah, I mean, that's a show that doesn't like anybody whatsoever. It really doesn't, and it's just um, ugh, yeah, it's just a disgusting show. That's all I can say off of that. No misogyny or anything like that in any of it. I'm just, I mean, from my point of view of that show, I'm just saying the show itself, just the writing is just, it's hateful. It's just really, ugh, yeah. Penn says Hulu had Future Man. Yes, it had Future Man, Chainsaw Man. It's got a lot of mans in there. Hit Monkey, like I said, it's got a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, good stuff. Well worth your time. So what else do I have going on for the rest of this week? Well, tomorrow is going to be the Legend of Vox Machina. That's right, the Legend of Vox Machina, episodes 7 through 9. Yeah, we got this week, and then next week is going to be the finale, the season finale. So yeah, we're going to strap in for that one. Saturday. That's right. Saturday is going to be the return of Saturday Morning Blast Off. That's right. Or it's going to go back on Saturdays because there's just so much shit happening that I need to talk about it. because I know you guys want to talk about it as well. I mean, especially with what's going on with James Gunn's announcements for what James Gunn and Peter Serafin's announcement for DC Studios, and then also just other stuff that's happening. Like I said, Hit Monkey. There's other stuff that's going on as well. Sunday I'm going to be off, of course. Um, and Monday is going to be The Last of Us. Tuesday is going to be another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And this time around, it's going to be Lockwood and Company. Lockwood and Company, yes. Wednesday is going to be The Bad Batch. And then Thursday, I'll be off. There we go. And then, of course, next Friday will be the season finale of The Legend of Vox Machina. Yes, everything's going to be fun to talk about with what's going on right now. Excuse me, my stomach just decided to rear its ugly head there for a moment. That's what ends up happening when you're burning the candle at both ends, at this point. Too much stuff going on. Yeah. As I told everyone, last night, yeah, I'm in the process of, I'm in escrow right now for a condo. So I'm, there's a lot of stuff happening, and it's just tiring as well. But anyway, yeah, so hopefully in about a month, all of this will change. Well, it's not going to change too much. I might reorganize some stuff behind me. It'll be a little bit different. Well, the same but different. Mark says, add the movie 65 for Is It Worth My Time when it comes out? Yes, I am. So yeah, Mark's most likely I might see 65 way before I see Shazam 2. Especially with what Zachary Levi has been saying in Twitter lately. Let's just say Zachary Levi has been going down the Gina Carano route, and that's not looking good right now for them. So, yeah, exactly. And I'll be damned if I'm going to be giving any money to, anti-vaxxers. So, yep, I can wait till it comes out on HBO Max because it'll be like 45 days or something like that. Yeah. I mean, come on, man. 3 weeks before your movie comes out and just start talking shit. Well, anyway. So, with that said, I'm going to let you guys go for the night. Thank you to everybody who joined me tonight in the chat. There's actually a fairly good turnout tonight. And thank you if you made it this far in the video. You know who you are out there. If you like what you saw here, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos, my vast video library, and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, please hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button, the share button. As a matter of fact, if you haven't already, hit that like button down there. And if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media there and all the links to my pages as well. That's right. It's all there. It'd be more, I'd be here more often if only I checked the schedule. Well, I was late today too. I've been late, I've been late about half an hour, each time here. And that's, again, like I said, it's just been burning the candle at both ends and trying to get shit done and all that kind of stuff before I go on. So it takes a little while to, produce things here and there. I don't just pull, well, I do kind of pull things out of my ass here and there, but not all the time. So, with that said, I'm going to let you guys go. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again tomorrow. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may find out that you don't have any superpowers and that jump off the building isn't going to go well. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again tomorrow. Have a good rest of your night. Stay safe, be well, take care. Wear those masks, get those vaccine shots, get the boosters as well, because they don't work without the boosters. And stay safe out there, everyone. Thanks. Have a good rest of your night. Good night, everyone.